right, guys, we are back. So now here is Amit from ODEEO, and he will tell us about changing the game for hyper casual monetization. Amit, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Vlad. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here. As Vlad said, my name is Amit. I'm the CEO and co founder of ODEEO. And today we'll be talking about how we're changing the game for hyper casual monetization. So, a bit about the agenda that we'll talk through today. So, you'll get a short intro about us and about what we do. And then we'll talk a bit about how to listen to your gamers. Why are they frustrated today? Then we can discuss how our solution enables your gamers to play on and cut through the noise with our amplified experience using the formats that we're having, our innovative formats, talking a bit also about the ecosystem within the space today, and then sharing a bit more data and insights that we have on how it really works today and what is the value that we're generating to hyper casual developers today, first and foremost within the space. And then there will be some time for a Q&A session. So going a bit about us and the team. So three of us, Alad, myself, and Andre, we're good friends for a long time. We have been working together in the digital advertising space for more than 15 years. And we have been working in leading companies, as you can see below, which the major one out of them was IronSource. This is where I met Alad. We were working there for 7 years. We were doing pretty much all things around digital advertising and obviously witnessing the firsthand the major growth of mobile game monetization, and especially the growth or exploding growth of hyper casual and casual genres within recent years. And we founded ODEEO with a mission to create a better in-game user experience. And this experience respectfully connects gamers, developers, and brands through ODEEO innovation. And the reason that we started working on this concept, on this new innovative idea, was that we understood that in today's world, or talking about the free-to-play mobile gaming space, in which there is excessive use of full screen ads, very aggressive, very intrusive, and disruptive. And this basically means that gamers are getting less gameplay time, and at the end of the day are frustrated or churning out, seeing longer sessions, shorter session time, and shorter retention on that sense. Not only that, but gamers are also frustrated with the heavy usage of user level data that they're able to see today. And with our solution, what we do is we basically help game developers to cut through the noise and let their gamers to play on. We do that by enhancing the user's in-game experience with non-intrusive and relevant audio ads. And I'm going to talk a bit about the formats, and I want to show you a short video of how it looks like today and the different units that we're...
We've been told that perfect mornings exist for the lucky few. That morning people own the waking hours. But the truth is, mornings belong to all of us. All it takes is saying yes. Starbucks morning yes. We've been told that perfect mornings exist for the lucky few. That morning people own the waking hours. But the truth is, mornings belong to all of us. All it takes is saying yes. Starbucks morning yes.
So, as you've seen, you basically saw two different formats that we're supporting today. The first one that you saw was the standard ODEEO format, which would be the equivalent to an interstitial, for example. So it's a developer-initiated ad format that basically can pop up in every minute of the game. So in that sense, we can do something like, for example, if a user is now entering the screen, we can provide a welcome audio message to accompany the user into the gameplay, and then giving the developer first an incremental source of new revenue with new real estate that is in game rather than in between levels. and also allowing the user to continue the gameplay with no interruptions in that sense. Now, on the rewarded side, which is again a pure takeoff of rewarded video or how it works today, which is the holy grail probably of the mobile gaming monetization side. However, the current experience today with rewarded video is that once a user clicks on the button, usually there will be a 30-second video ad running in the background and taking the user out of the gameplay, out of the experience, out of the screen. However, with rewarded audio, as you've seen, users can simply hit the button, go instantly into the gameplay, and have the audio running in the background that can either include a visual or not. And this shows you a bit about our units. So as you've seen on the video, we basically have 3 different units today. The first one is the icon audio. This is our own proprietary ad unit. It's a 50/50 icon sized ad unit. It's totally flexible. Developers can choose where they want to position it within the game. And this also includes, obviously, a visual element to strengthen the contextual experience for the user, first understanding what is happening in the background, but also for the advertiser having this visual within the game itself. The other unit that we support is the banner audio, as you can see here. The banner audio could be the footer banner, could be the upper banner, really depends on the developer itself. It's a standard 320 and 50 ad unit that we're using today. And the third, and probably the least, let's say, popular that we're using today is the audio only mode, meaning running and everything in the background is an audio ad that runs during gameplay time. Now, obviously, as you can see in terms of the integration today, we support Unity, iOS, and Android integrations. So we pretty much support everything that we can do today. And if we're talking about the ecosystem or how it really works on our side today, so using our direct SDK integrations, we integrate the SDK into the games. We're working today with close to 100 games that are live on our platform today. Using this data, we're pretty much taking it into our own engine, using contextual analysis, on-device volume analysis that we're taking in real time, and combining it with in-game events, and delivering this data back to the advertiser side, which could be either brands, DSPs, and agencies. You can see some of the brands and the game developers that we're working with today below here. Now, going a bit about the data that we see today. So one of the first things that we did with our technology was to develop the capability to analyze the device volume at any given time. So what we're able to do today is we're able to detect whether a user's device is set on mute, whether it's unmute. And from the data that we see, which pretty much shocked us, we see that globally we have over 70% of the users that are playing with sound on. So it's loud and clear, and the opportunity is definitely there. If we're talking about the monetization side, which obviously interests you guys the most, so talking about the CPMs are super competitive. We're seeing ranges between $5 to $15 today globally, mostly tier 1, tier 2 countries. But most importantly, in terms of the data that we're seeing from our game developers that are working with us today, we're able to generate incremental ARPDAU uplift of 10 to 15% to their overall revenue, which is a huge win for them. As you guys know, that for hyper casual, every cent, every spiel that we can have on the ARPDAU usually creates a long-standing partnership for us. And one of the first, let's say, game developers that we onboarded was Game Jam. I'm sure it's a name that you guys are familiar with, a very strong player within the hyper casual space. And during that time that we worked with them, we started very, very slowly. We were scaling up for each game, going to different geos. And then after working with them for more than 6 months, we were able to validate the data and get the statistics from them that we are able to increase the ARPDAU by 15% with our in-game audio advertising solution. And I know it was very, very short, but I'd love to hear if there are any questions from the audience.
Yes, I inviting the audience to ask questions more actively. For now, we have already some questions. Um, what what are some things to help games have a long tail engagement?
I'm sorry.
Um, what are some things to help games have a long tail engagement?
So I'm not sure. I just removed the sharing. Maybe I can see the question because I'm not sure what
Uh,
was the exact question.
I think it's my private chat, so I think it's
Oh,
So I think it's not possible for now to make it visible. Okay, the next question is I'm trying to read them from different sources. Um, so, um, um, what is the difference? Um, are the audio ads playing more frequently than the videos?
so there is a possibility of obviously playing with the frequency of ads. And one of our goals with this, new innovative solution is to help gaming developers in general, but hyper casual developers specifically, to diversify their monetization mix and not to be just dependent on those full screen and aggressive ads that they're using today. So what we see on our side that ideally, there should be a mix of using audio ads with video ads or with the standard monetization that you guys are using today in that sense. So there is no real answer for what is the frequency here because it really varies between one game to another. And there are some games with longer session times, there are other with shorter session times. But for each game, we usually work with the developer itself, finding the best strategy to support what their goals are.
Right, nice. So the next question is we have just several chats. What is as audio ads compliant with the GDPR rules? Yeah.
So it works exactly as all other ads. Digital audio advertising is first and foremost based on brand awareness campaigns. So it's all branded campaigns coming from the largest brands in the world. So if we're talking about GDPR compliant and the related regions for that, so obviously we comply. We're IAB partner. We're working to be fully compliant and transparent on that side. So I'm guessing that GDPR is a major issue for different geos, but also for brands as well. So we fully support it.
All right. Nice. And by the way, what's about the driving and car driving? Let's say some driver enters his phone on his stage in front of his driving panel, and then he can hear some audio ads. Is it allowed or is it prohibited by the driving systems like Google Play or Android Auto, or does it affect some rules about
So,
driving?
so honestly, I don't have an answer to that since we haven't had any kind of cases in which we've heard about gamers that are playing during driving time. But I can tell you that from what we see, which is a different answer, but we have a car racing game that we're working with, and in a car racing game, for example, you have multiple opportunities to work on a contextual advertising based solution. And for example, some things that we're doing with the in-game event, so we're able to get like the event of a car crash within the game, and then using this data, we're able to send it back to our advertisers and get a car insurance ad for that example. So it's not really the question that you were asking for, but it still relates to driving.
Yeah, it's about the driver. The next one. How is the fill rate? What are the countries with active supply?
Okay, so that's a great question, and in terms of fill rates, obviously digital audio advertising is still a bit behind from the other existing formats, the standard formats that we're familiar with, obviously display and video. But in terms of fill rates, we do see very decent fill rates in tier one, tier two countries. Fill rates can go up to 50 or 60% in some cases. Obviously now Q4 is the peak season of the advertising world, and we see even higher fill rates in this case right now. But also, there are surprising tier three countries, whether it's India, whether it's Latin America, Southeast Asia, that we're able to monetize as well, and seeing very good fill rates with also very decent CPM levels within those geos.
Okay, the next question is, do you support audio ads for South Asian regions? If so, how are the CPMs in those regions?
For sound station, sorry.
For South Asian.
Oh, South Asia, exactly. Okay, so that's exactly what we were talking before right now. So we have a couple of resellers working with us in that region that are selling our inventory directly to brands and agencies. And we already have very good fill rates in Southeast Asia. So for now, pretty much we can say that it's about 15 to 20% fill rates. CPMs, depends on which geo, but I can say that CPM as a general would be $2 to $4 in Southeast Asia right now.
Okay, cool. How do you recommend to implement audio ads in hyper casual games? They probably cannot fully replace video ads, right?
Yes, yes. So it's exactly what I said before. Like, we feel that obviously video advertising is the holy grail of the mobile game space, especially rewarded video. And we have no intention to replace the video. We feel that audio is a complementary solution and another tool within the monetization toolbox of gaming developers, and again, hyper casual specifically. So in terms of, how do we suggest to implement audio advertising within hyper casual? So it doesn't mean you have to like take off the videos that you're using today. It just means that with us, you have new real estate, which is in-game real estate that you can monetize uninterrupted gameplay, unintrusively, and then add incremental revenue to your top line at the end of the day. So again, keep your video monetization. Just try to play a bit about the frequency and the aggressiveness of those ads. And then instead, we can have the audio ads to come in place and increase your revenue at the end of the day.
Nice. Do audio ads usually replace the video ads or edit in addition to them?
So it's added in addition, again, following that same answer that I just said. Obviously, it's an addition and it's incremental in that sense. So it's on top of what you guys are doing today. With audio, you can do much more.
Okay, the next question is, what types of brands would do well with these audio ads and what might not?
So I can say obviously that in terms of the brands that are doing well, so we see a lot of insurance, a lot of finance brands, even consumer brands that are working and are buying our inventory and getting good results out of it. But I would say that the brands that we keep out right now and that probably won't be a good fit for the gaming space are more adult, alcohol oriented, gambling kind of brands that we're not using and advertising within our platforms.
And additional question, can the audio be heard during the gameplay itself?
So that's exactly the video that I've shown you with the demo that I had before. So this is probably the biggest advantage that audio has to offer over the existing ad formats that lives today within the mobile gaming space. And the biggest advantage is that audio could simply run in the background, meaning it has no interruptions into the gameplay. Even if there is a situation where there is in-game music or third-party app music, we know to identify those cases. We know to pause this music, whether again it's in-game or third-party app music, and then we just seamlessly blend in the audio ad. And once it ends, we're fading back the in-game music or the third-party app music. So it should be uh, an experience that goes during gameplay, obviously. Yes.
Great. Could you give names of some hyper casual games that use audio ads?
Sure. So in terms of the studios that we're working with today, we have Game Jam, like I noted before. We're working with Monday Off. We're working with White Room Games, working with Tap Nation as well, Unico Studio. So we have a bunch of studios that are working with us. Again, first and foremost on the hyper casual genre, this is where we see the greatest fit, to start with. But obviously, it doesn't say that audio advertising is limited just to hyper casual. But I'm guessing that this is the genre that it will get most success, at least at the first stage.
Okay, thank you very much. It was very nice information and very brilliant discussion. I think it was really interesting for our audience. So, Amit, thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you so much, Vlad. Thank you guys for having us. It was a pleasure. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Bye bye.
Bye.